Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining me this Wednesday for our Wednesday video. I'm Marg from Creative Stamping with Marg. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from St. Albert, Alberta, Canada. I have a warm sweater on today because we're having strange spring weather here. Rain, snow, cold. Hopefully this will be the last of it and we will see some sunshine and some heat. So I have a cute card to make today and lots of news on my desk. So let's go down and have a look. Okay, go. There you can see I've got the cover of the Stampin' Up! New catalog here. This is the May to August 2026 catalog. That's the front cover. It is effective May the 5th. I can't show you anything in the inside of it, so that's why I've just printed the cover off to show you what it looks like. If you're interested in a catalog and you don't have a demonstrator in Canada, just contact me and I'll get a catalog to you. All right, put that to the side. Next thing I have here is the new paper pumpkin for May. So this is called Sparkling Celebrations. If you can see that picture, it almost looks like it's lanterns. Not sure about it, but it looks really cool. It says, create bold celebratory cards perfect for invitations, congratulations, and special occasions. Makes 9 cards through each of 3 designs, and you get 9 envelopes. Your classic Stampin' Spot is Misty Moonlight in this one. So there is silver foil, and I think you get some silver gems with it. And the add-on dies for these past 3 months, April, May, and June, is Wonderful Scenes dies. This is it here. So if you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, or you want to be and you subscribe, you can order these dies and they go with the kits. 168665, called Wonderful Scenes Dies add-on, and it's $18. So there's that. Paper Pumpkin. Ah, yes, this is just starting today. If you have a Stampin' Up! Account and you are ordering supplies, once your order hits $25, you will earn 2 times the rewards. Normally we get 10% back in rewards. Now you're getting 20. So on that note, you want to check the last chance list and stock up on your supplies that you need. This would be a great time to get extra rewards. Remember that when our catalog comes out in May, there's a lot of price, I shouldn't say a lot, there are price increases in that catalog. A lot of the adhesives, the ink pads and refills. So this would be a great time to stock up. I know I've put that on my websites, that if you need anything, envelopes, that you would, a good time to stock up now. And then they came out with this 2 times the rewards for 3 days. So the 15th, 16th, and 17th of April. Okay, so that's just a reminder about that. And check the last chance list again, because there's lots of things still on it. And I'll show you some of the things I'm using today that you might be interested in. Okay, the product of the month is available for April. I showed it to you, the picture last week. It is called Eyelet Blooms Die. I do not have it yet, but once your order reaches $100, you can add this on for $5 to your order. And you can see how detailed it is. Very interesting die. Okay, so that's the April product of the month. If you didn't get March's product of the month, it is still available. And it was the Notes of Spring stamp set. Again, when your order reaches $100, you can add this on for $5. I used this product last week in my cards in the video. Okay. Also, if you didn't get February's product of the month, Painted Illusions Designer Series paper, it is still available for $5 when your order reaches 100. So lots of choices. This is gorgeous paper. I've used it a lot. 12 by 12, and you get 12 sheets. So you've got 3 options for product of the month. Now, if you've already purchased one of these, you're only allowed to purchase 1. So if you've already had this, you can't get it again. Same with this, you can't get it again. And same with this, you can't get it again. So you can only have 1 of everything. All right. I also put this on my table because I haven't mentioned this for a couple of weeks, and I should be. The virtual album retreat is April 29th 30th and May 1st. And if you purchase this retreat, you will receive a box in the mail with all of the supplies. It is called Happiness is Here. It makes they're going to be making 20 scrapbook pages over the 3 days. You get 2 double stamp sets. You get exclusive designer series paper that only comes in this kit, linen thread embellishments, and you get a package of 25 page protectors for your work. So it's a great investment if you're interested in scrapbooking, especially if you have something that you'd like to scrapbook, like if you have a holiday or a wedding or something specific to scrapbook. These are great, and they walk you through it all, and you receive everything in the mail. It's very, very slick. So that's available, 168051. So you can purchase that just as if you were purchasing something on the store, on the online store. You just type in that number and purchase it, and then the box will be sent to you, and the link for the Zoom class that they're going to be doing. Okay, let's make sure I've covered everything. Yes, I think I have. All right, so let's get started on our card. I watched the Pampered stamper make this card, and she called it a Mosaic punch card. So I'll show you the products we're going to use today. I am using the Heartfelt Hexagon punch. That's what she also used, and it is on the last chance list. It was $34. It's $27.20. So it's a great buy. That I am using the Nests of Winter Designer Series paper, which was $17. It's 12 by 12 paper. It is now on the last chance list for $13.60. You can see I have very little left. I do have some pieces on the other side, but I have used it a lot. It was the one with the birds, the pussy willows. I call these dandelions. I don't know if that's really what they are, but I had lots of birds and really cute paper. Okay, so we're using that today. And we are using the stamp set and dies, Delightful Wishes, which is on the last chance list. This is the stamp set. The bundle was $68.25, but this is the time when you don't buy the bundle. You buy the stamp separately and the dies separately because it's cheaper that way. So often when they put it on the last chance list, they'll do it this way. So the dies are $24 and the stamp set is going to be $19.60. So making your purchase $43.60 instead of $68.25. So it's a better buy to buy them separately. Okay, so we'll be using those. And our paper today is thick basic white, 4 1/4 by 11, and I scored it at 5 1/2. And it's going to be a tent fold, meaning it stands up like that. My other sample is this way, a more traditional card. So I have both variations to show you. Okay, so that's there. The designer series paper, I used my Heartfelt Hexagon punch, and I punched out 9 different pieces of the designer series paper. I'm just going to lay them here so you can see them. And I'm laying them like this because this is kind of the way I want them. So I just have to show you what it looks like. But anyway, something like that. Okay, so you need at least 9 pieces, and you're not going to use the full piece. In some instances, it's going to fall off the edge, so you're going to cut it off. So we're going to have some extra pieces. I also have just a scrap. This was 3/4 of an inch by 5 1/2, and I thought I can use this on the inside, so we'll use that. I fussy cut out one of the birds, but you can use a die cut. My other card has some die cuts on it that I'll show you, but some kind of a focal point. And the dies that I'm using from the Delightful Wishes is the word wishing, and it comes like this. So you can die cut the outline and then the inner writing. So I did the outline in Coastal Cabana, and the inside is gray granite. And those are 2 colors that are in this paper. So that's going to go on the front. And in the window, we're going to do some stamping, and I'm going to do, it's going to say wishing, and in the window, it's going to say you all the best. So it could be a birthday card, it could be graduation card, it could be a lot of different things. So that's what I'm going to do today. All right, so let's get started. First things first, with this card that's standing as a tent fold, what I did was I just took it This is the front of it. I just took my hexagon punch and I slid it all the way down, so it's as far down as it can go, and I just eyeballed it to look as if it's in the center, and I just punched. So you can keep this for something else, and there's our punch. It doesn't have to be perfect, but that's the way I did it. Then I wanted to put, these were the two pieces that I thought I wanted to put here. Sorry, you have to, these pieces are very, now you see I've got it wonky there. And you're leaving about 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch in between of the white. Okay, so those were the two that I thought I'd glue on first, and I think maybe, so you can see, I'll get my silicone mat, and I'll put my silicone mat just in here so you can see what I'm doing, and it'll make it a little easier to see the way that I'm gluing these, because I'm going to glue them on like this. And I played around with all the pieces, all the different patterns that I had, but because I want the words to go here, I liked the contrast in the color, so that's why I have these two here. And then the rest of them is just your own preference, however you like the look of them. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue these two down. And I love that little birdie that I got there. So when you're punching, you can be very strategic about what things look like. You know, what part of the paper you're getting. So when I'm gluing these down, like I say, I'm leaving about 1/8 of an inch along there, and in between I'm going to leave about that same amount. I have to look at these, look like feet, don't they? Oh, sorry, that's not, I'm using this side. Okay, sorry, that's sort of the gray granite side that I want. This is, looks like crumb cake or basic beige on the back of some of these, so I am using them also, but for this, I wanted it to be the gray granite, so it kind of goes with my my words. Now, you can just see, I'll just bring this up closer, you can just see I've left just that little space in between so that you're going to see your background color of card. So you could change the background and it wouldn't have to be white. You could use something, another color, and it would be interesting also. So now it's just a matter of placing your pieces wherever you think they look good. And I had mine, I'll show you how I had them placed around. And I played with this. It can be any way you want it, of course. Whoops, that's not the piece I used. And I just played with the colors and the way I wanted it to look. And you end up with, you can see how you end up with partial pieces, and we're going to be cutting them off. And I like this one because it has the little bird there too. So I thought, oh, I've got to get him in there. So I like the way that looked. And then my words are going to go, whoops, on top here of this. And I thought that looked okay. Just kind of like that. And then I'm going to stamp in the window, as I said before. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish gluing these. So I just, a lot of the times I put the glue here, just remembering that I'm leaving an edge around. And then you have space to play with a little bit, and you don't get glue on the piece of paper that you aren't using, because we're going to cut that off, and I don't really want my scissors to be all goopy. So what I did was I just looked at it like this, and I'm going about here and following it up and right to the edge, and you can put a little in the middle. So however you like to do it, you can glue the whole piece if you want, but it's not really necessary to do it that way. And again, for this one, okay. And I'm just being mindful of the border that I'm leaving around. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. And then you'll see how we cut things off here. Okay, that one I maybe went a bit too close with my glue. I'll just smoosh it back. That one looks good. There was such a great variety of paper in this package that I had lots of options to make them fit. And now I'm thinking, I think I'm good. That one was cute too with the bird on it. But again, I thought I'm trying to switch it all around a little bit and I just like that pop of Coastal Cabana with these two pieces, and even the garden green here I thought was really nice. But you can play around with your pieces, but you can see I've used 9 of my punched shapes, and it worked out great. So I will go like this. And I'm not worried about that little bit that you can see up there. I'm not going to cover that up. So I could have left a little more space between, and then I wouldn't have had that gap there, but I'm not worried about it. Those 2 little pieces are fine. Okay, we'll just let that sit for a second, and it's kind of stuck to my mat there. You're going to need scissors, and I took lemon oil and cleaned my scissors today because boy were they goopy from glue on them. But okay, we'll just lift this off of here. Take that out, and you can see how got glue on the inside here. You can see how I'm just going to trim all these off. Now you have to be careful when you're doing your top here because there's a fold there, right? So I'm going to cut it like this, and a lot of these pieces will be garbage now because they aren't going to be useful for another card like this. Some of these are very tiny and we won't use them, so I'll throw those away. But these pieces you could probably get away with using. So I'm just following the card base, and I'm just trimming them all off right along the basic white here. And like I say, a lot of these are going to be garbage, but some of them you might be able to use. Again, these bigger pieces. That's up to you if you're making another card like this with the same kinds of paper. So that's as simple as it gets. I spent more time playing around with the patterns and seeing where I liked them than anything else. But yeah, it's all good. I thought I'd cut that one that way because these pieces might be usable again, where this little piece is not going to be. There we go. All right, so there's the front of our card. Makes a really cool background. Sorry, I'll put my scissors here. Makes a really cool background, I think. Very interesting background. I love this punch, and I'm sad that it's in the last chance list, but we're making use of it today. All right, so before I get too much further, what I thought I would do is I thought I was going to put my bird here like that. I thought he looked really cute like that. I'm just going to utilize that glue that I've got in there to stick that down. And I want to stamp these words. Now, the words are you all the best. Sounds weird. Wishing you all the best. So what I thought I'd do is you all the best. So I want it one on top of the other. Hopefully, I did play with this a little bit, and I'll show you that you can do it. Now, I think I won't glue my bird in yet, but what I want is I want my words over to the right-hand side of the window itself. So you can stamp right through your window if you're all right with that, or you can put a little pencil line and open your card and stamp it that way. But I'm going to just stamp it this way. I am going to use my piercing mat, and you can see I've got lots of stamping on here. And I will stamp off so I can show you. I am using gray granite ink for the inside. And I'm going to try to ink up just you all first. And I should be able to do it. I did practice a little on a scrap, and you can always do that. You can always stamp it on your scrap paper like this and make sure it just says you all, which it does. That's what I want it to say. You all, and I think I'll put it right. I think I might have gotten some ink on there. You can always use a Post-it note if you're a little nervous about this. Just re-ink that again. And I'm going to make sure that this is straight, and hopefully I can get right over this. You all. Oh, see, it didn't come out. Oh dear. Maybe because I have the second layer there. So let's see if we can do it again. And if I goof it up, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. You know that piece that we punched out? I can put it right there and stamp onto it. Let's see. Now I may have to get my head in here to just, actually I'll move my card down towards me and out of view from you. And see if I can do it again right on top. There, that's better. I think I managed it. And I guess that's a lesson because that's another layer there. So it popped my stamp up and so didn't allow it. So when I do the other part, so it's going to say, put my bird back here, wishing you all the best. So now I've got to clean this. So I'm going to use my chamois here and clean that part of it off so that my stamp is nice and clean. And you can always check and do this so that there's nothing on it. And then this time I want to do the best. So I just want to stamp up, get ink on the best. So let's see if I can do a good job of that without getting it on anything else. Just going to choose a different part of my ink pad here. There we go. So I have the best inked up. I'm going to open my card so I don't do what I did the first time and just put this right underneath. Wishing you all the best. And hopefully that looks good. It's definitely a little bit lighter, but that's okay. I'm not going to fuss over it because, oh, and I kind of went off. Oh dear. I think it's going to be okay. I went too far that way in the window. I would have liked it to have been over this way a bit, but we'll just put our bird in there and I think that'll be okay. Wishing you all the best. I think that's going to look all right. But you can see how stamping in the window is a little bit of a trick. I should have maybe done a little pencil mark and it would have given me a better idea where to do my stamping. So anyway, note to self. Now, I will clean this off, seeing I've got my chamois here. And then that's all ready to go back. All right. So now I'm going to put the word wishing, and I was going to put it up on dimensionals, but it is quite small. So you would have to use a bunch of little cut pieces. So I decided I'm just going to go ahead and put glue on it. So just, there's lots of room for your glue here on the outline. So you can just glue it down. And I used the sticky paper for the back of the skinny little word wishing because it's very hard to put it on if you don't. Okay, let's put that there like that. And then our bird here. So I think it looks all right. I now know that I can't stamp through the window when it's that close to the edge. So that's a learning experience. You know, this is what we do when we're together. We make mistakes and I try to show you how I fix them. I'm going to just give my bird a little bit of dimension here. I like him to look a little bit like he's not so flat. So I will just do that with him like that. Like I said, I just fussy cut this out and I'm just going to glue down the branch at the bottom, I think. Maybe I'll put a little dimensional behind that little branch there, but you can't put anything behind the bird itself because he's overlapping in your window. So I'll just maybe get some mini dimensionals, that'll work. And put a couple of mini dimensionals behind this and maybe behind the one below. Let's see if that works for us. Maybe behind those berries would be good. Oh, it's sticking to me. like that. I'm just going to try it without taking the paper off yet. Maybe behind his tail a little bit there. That would be good too. So I will put a little one right there. Whoops. Don't want him to show. Okay, let's just see how that looks. I think that'll be good. Okay, so I'm taking my backings off. And then you've got your dimensionals all ready to go. And again, like I say, I'm just making sure that none of it is going to be showing in my window. Okay, like that. So there, he's up on dimensionals. And let's open it up. It's stuck together here, and make sure you can't see anything in the window. There's no glue or anything. I am going to get my glue eraser though, because this is driving me crazy, where I got glue on here. There, got that off. Okay, so it says wishing you all the best. And because it's the thick basic white, I didn't have to add an extra piece to do writing. So you can do your writing all up at the top here, just making sure I wouldn't want to have any of my writing show in the window. Okay, and I brought in the faux bronze pentagons to use for our embellishments, and you can put them anywhere you want, but I kind of thought I wanted to put them kind of in the window. That's what I did with my other ones. Well, you know what? Maybe I'll do it like this. And I'll put a couple of small ones. There's two sizes in this. I'll put a couple of small ones over here. Just like that. There. So that's the card. Simple enough. Uses up scrap, if you have scraps of designer series paper. And you can see how I used a variety, and it really makes an interesting background. So I love that. Love the look of those cards. So there's that one. And now the sample I made, of course, oh, so I'm sorry. I did have this paper sitting here to put on the inside. Now, the thing you have to be aware of is, depending on how wide your piece is, where you're going to put it. I don't want it to show in the window. So I think I'm going to put it on this side and right up against the edge, and it won't show. And I just thought that dresses up the inside a little bit too. You can make this piece, this strip doesn't have to be 3/4 of an inch. It could be a little narrower, and then it would fit even better. But this is what I had. It was literally a scrap in the bag, in the package of paper. So I thought, why am I not using that? And I really like the look of it. It's got the little bird sitting on the... I thought these were dandelions. I'm sure they're not. They're some kind of a plant. Okay, so that's what our card looks like. I will just get my bone folder, and I'm going to reinforce this top edge, because sometimes when we add paper to it, it doesn't lay so flat. That's much better. So it's going to stand like that, and it's going to look like that when it's closed. So my sample card from retired paper looks like this. So I've changed the orientation. I did it this way. Now for this one, instead of taking my punch and just punching any old where, because I didn't know where I wanted it to be, I glued this piece on first, and you can see I just left it at the edge all the way around, and then I put my punch in and I punched to make it match up with that. So any way you want to do it is fine. Again, centering it would give you a center line, so that's however it looks for you. So this one says thank you for everything, and it just opens like this. And again, the die cuts, I just made sure that there was no glue on the edges that are showing in the window, and that worked out perfectly too. So 2 cute cards. Cute idea. Great way to use this Heartfelt Hexagon punch, which is in the last chance list, and the stamp set that I used, and the paper I used. So all the things except my embellishments are on the last chance list this week. So I hope everybody enjoyed that. Love to get your comments, and thumbs up really helps me. So I appreciate you, and hope to see you next week.